connected with the Santa Rosa adventure on trying to deal with the Roseland annexation. Has anyone ever given you an actual example of frustration? There you go. Yeah. I mean, the discussion's been going on for over 32 years when you put it into real numbers. Because there's a joint powers authority agreement signed by the city and the county back in 1984. And that involved the Roseland redevelopment project area. I believe that joint powers authority agreement is still in effect. Even though redevelopment might have gone away, unless you folks pass something to rescind it, it's probably still there. And that could be your way in to Santa Rosa's door, if you will. Now, I bring this up because Santa Rosa's been trying to beggar you folks lately, saying that they want more money. And I'm thinking, wait a second, the county has put millions upon millions of dollars up for the parks that are happening over in Roseland. Now, you have to keep this in mind that the city had a big portion of Roseland for over 30 years also. And they didn't provide any parks. One small sliver of land next to Highway 101, a right-of-way, was given to be a park for over 15,000 people living in that general area. It doesn't even meet the city's own standards. So, I just wanted to let you know there will be public support should you folks do a pushback and tell the city of Santa Rosa, no, as a matter of fact, we're not giving you $8 million more for the Roseland Creek Park, which we actually got for you in the first place. I mean, if you look at the record, it's the county that got the whole thing. And for then the city to come in and say, oh man, you're not giving us enough, I'm like, enough already. This is what they used to call balderdash. You ever heard that term? Man, that's the greatest term because it describes nonsense in a polite way. And that's what's happening with the city of Santa Rosa. They're trying to play nonsense on you for more money in their pocket while they hold this thing off until after the elections. And then in 2016, new people come in, and then they'll deal with those pesky folks over in Roseland who might change the voting situation. And you know we would. I mean, I'm ready. Give me my vote on some fun stuff. Anyway, we'll leave it with that, and we'll say thank you very much for once again listening to the Rubes from Roseland. We know how to count money, at least. Thank you.
Thank you, Dwayne. Mary Morrison, followed by Michelle Miller and Maria Hallstrom. If your name is called up, if you can come up here, I'm going to start time as soon as the speaker is finished.
Okay, this is Abuse News number 5958. Supervisor Carrillo, give John Jenkel's sanctuary back or face death. First unreasonable seizure, county sale of stolen property and reported treason. 179. Sonoma County Supervisors Valerie Brown, Ephraim Carrillo, Paul Kelly, Mike Kearns, and Shirley Zane allowed the County of Sonoma to unreasonably seize and treasonously sell John Jenkel's 3.68 acre assessor's parcel number 130-180-051 in the 5th District in violation of their oaths of office and public employment contracts that require due process of law that mandates a warrant and just compensation following a trial by jury and facts tried by jury for lawful seizure of real property, private real property. Their documented and witnessed violations of their oath and breaches of contract gave aid and comfort to enemies of the state of California in the addiction industry who profit from human misery and work in the Paul Hobbs Winery Limited Partnership. Such aid and comfort for enemies of the state by these 5 elected public servants is treason in violation of California Penal Code Section 37-180. A report was made on March 7, 2016 to the Sonoma County Sheriff's Department by Sonoma County terrorized victim, 5th District property owners John Jenkel, the 9/11 bounty hunter, about his 3.68 acre property being fraudulently and treasonously levied by the Sonoma County Sheriff's Department, which is evidenced by my fraudulently and treasonously levied property being fraudulently and treasonously seized without a warrant in the form of a writ of possession or writ of sale under a fraudulent, corrupt, and treasonously rigged publicly advertised sheriff's sale on November 4th, 2009, and then it was immediately and treasonously sold to the only bidder allowed by 8 armed Sonoma County Sheriff deputies and 2 state police in riot gear to attend a public auction in a public back room as top intended benefactor Willie Brown determines to be necessary under Constitution of Boarding Strike First Martial Law 107243, all with the prior approval of 5th District Supervisor Efren Carrillo over our witnessed and constitutionally grounded very public objections. The above reported treason was bound by oath and contract. California Public Officer Efren Carrillo was dutifully taken on March 7, 2016 by Sonoma County Deputy Sheriff Rich Pavros in Sonoma County Sheriff's Department, event number SD 160670074. This simple due process.
Thank you, Mary. Michelle Miller, followed by Maria Hallstrom, followed by Roseanne Schneider.
This simple due process of law is the beginning of a 145-year overdue Constitution revolution. Second unreasonable seizure, county sale of stolen property and reported treason. Item 182. Sonoma County Supervisors Valerie Brown, Efren Carrillo, David Rabbit, Mike McGuire, and Shirley Zane allowed the County of Sonoma on August 25, 2010 to unreasonably seize and sell John Jenkel's 2.26-acre assessor's parcel number 130-180-049 in the 5th District in violations of their oaths of office and public employment contracts that require due process of law that mandates a warrant in the form of a writ of possession or writ of sale, and just compensation following a trial by jury and a fact tried by a jury. Their documented and witnessed violations of their oath and breaches of contract gave aid and comfort to enemies of the state of California in the addiction industry who profit from all forms of human misery and lurk in a sole auction bidder allowed into an advertised public auction, which again was DePaul Hobbs Winery LP. Such allowances by elected public servants, Valerie Brown, Efren Carrillo, Paul Kelly, Mike Kearns, and Shirley Zane, gave aid and comfort to enemies of this state, which is the capital crime of treason in violation of California Penal Code Section 37. Item 183. A report was made on March 7, 2016 by 3-time Sonoma County ground theft victim, 5th District property owner John Jenkel, Da9-11 bounty hunter, on the above documented and witnessed treason by 5th District Supervisor Efren Carrillo and his allowing the County of Sonoma to unreasonably seize and treasonably sell John Jenkel's 2.26-acre assessor's parcel 130-180-049 behind closed public doors to a sole auction bidder in organized crime. This very public treason was reported to Sonoma County Sheriff Deputy Rich Pavros in Sonoma County Sheriff's Department event number SD 160670093. Third unreasonable seizure, county sale of stolen property and reported treason. Sonoma County Supervisors Valerie Brown, David Rabbit, Efren Carrillo, Mike McGuire, and Shirley Zane allowed the County of Sonoma on April 21, 2011 to unreasonably seize and sell John Jenkel's 2.85-acre horse pasture, assessor's parcel number 130-180-065 in the 5th District in violations of their oaths of office and public employment contracts that require due process of law that mandates a warrant in the form of a writ of possession or writ of sale mandated by the state of California, and just compensation following a trial by jury and when fact tried by a jury. Their documented and witnessed violations of oath and breaches of contract gave aid and comfort to enemies of this state of California in the addiction industry who profit from all forms of human misery and lurk in depth.
Thank you, Michelle. Maria Hallstrom, followed by Roseanne Schneider and Richard Hannon.
Good afternoon. Let's see, 185. Is it 185? Okay, so 185. A report of treason was made on March 7th, 2016 by 3-time Sonoma County grand theft victim, 5th District property owner John Jenkel, Da9-11 bounty hunter, on the above documented and witnessed treason by 5th District Supervisor Efren Carrillo in his allowing the County of Sonoma to unreasonably seize and treasonously auction off his 2.85
acre horse pasture. Assessors, parcel number 130180065, behind the closed public tours to a sole auction bidder in organized crime. My report was taken by Sonoma County Sheriff Deputy Rich Pabros. This report is Sonoma County, excuse me, is Sonoma County Sheriff's Department event number SD 1606-70095 and 186. The three above described treasonous breaches of contract with yours truly, John Jenkel, by 5th District Supervisor Ephraim Carrillo, may be considered by a jury composed of informed property owners, taxpayers, voters, constitutionalists, animal lovers, and tree lovers in California, in a California Civil Court of Supreme Constitutional Law to be treason mandating a death penalty. Conspirators are blocking we the people's right to know the truth. 187. The truth about Da9-11 sponsored and Enron puppet George W. Bush botched organized crimes and 2,982 unplanned murders on 9/11, and the highest level of organized crime, which is mass murder, world terrorism, and plunder under Constitution aborting and police state installing strike first, martial law 107-243, is all hidden by top 9/11 intended benefactor and wizard of deception, Willie Brown and his brown, green, gay, cheese, wine, Chinese religion, unconstitutional war, and sex organized crime machine and 1% protection racket is the grandest
Roseanne Schneider, followed by Richard
conspiracy
Hammond.
of our time.
Good afternoon. I'll continue with this document. A. Barry Curto by Waco BBNet, who has received John Jenkel's information about the highest level of organized crime since 2004 and withheld it from his now 12,000 registered members. This prevented 12,000 people from exercising their constitutionally secured rights to know the truth about 9/11. Mass murder and unconstitutional undeclared wars of congressional choice, never necessity, and about world terrorism for fascist gain, which is necessary for their own safety and well-being in violation of U.S. Code Title 18, Section 241, Conspiracy Against Rights. 16, a capital crime. Barry has also concealed the herein documented treason by hundreds of public officers in violation of California Penal Code Section 38(7), which is misprision of treason, a felony. B. Santa Rosa Press Democrat editorial director Paul Gullickson and his staff, who have received our 9/11 Truth Campaign's information about the highest level of organized crime since 2002 and withheld it from over 50,000 of Press Democrat readers over the years. This prevented over 50,000 people from exercising their constitutionally secured rights to know the truth about 9/11 and about mass murder in unconstitutional undeclared wars of congressional choice, never necessity, which is necessary for their own safety and well-being, in violation of U.S. Code Title 18, Section 241, Conspiracy Against Rights. 16, a capital crime. Paul has also concealed documented treason by hundreds of public officers in violation of California Penal Code Section 38(7), which is misprision of treason, a felony. C. Former effective show-stopping 9/11 Truth Campaign Rachel Charity Lamb, who has known the truth about 9/11 and mass murder and unconstitutional undeclared wars of congressional choice, never necessity, since 2004, and helped speak it in public forums but now refuses to do so for the safety of her children, and involuntarily and desperately violates U.S. Code Title 18, Section 241, conspiracy against rights.
Thank you, Roseanne. Richard Hannon, followed by John Jenkel.
Good afternoon. But for the last 3 years has refused to do so because top intended 9/11 benefactor and wizard of deception, Willie Brown, apparently scared her out of her considerable wits, terrorized. Then she involuntarily violates U.S. Code Title 18, Section 241, conspiracy against rights, a capital crime, and California Penal Code Section 38, which is misprision of treason and felony. E. Former Sonoma County presiding California Superior Court judges terrorized Gary Nandler, evidenced by exhibits 70, 71, 136, and dishonorable Renee Augustine Chateau, evidenced by exhibit 136, hinder John Jenkel's rights to petition 1/3 of the government for redress of grievances in violations of U.S. Code Title 18, Section 241, conspiracy against rights, a capital crime, and because John Jenkel is the 9/11 bounty hunter who no public officers will take seriously, thereby gives aid and comfort to enemies of the state in violation of California Penal Code Section 37, which is treason, another capital crime. Both capital crimes carry death penalties. F. Sonoma County presiding California Superior Court Judge Dishonorable Raina Ballinger violated my sacred, inalienable, and John's sacred, inalienable, and inviolate, and Constitution secured right to petition 1/3 of government for redress of grievances, evidenced by Exhibit 138. With their second time block of petition for the prevention of constitutional boarding, police state installing, strike first martial law 107-243, authorizing traitor Hillary Clinton from appearing on any California election ballot, under Supreme Law in Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. By so hindering John's right to petition 1/3 of government for redress of grievances, California Judicial Officer Ballinger violates U.S. Code Title 18, Section 241, conspiracy against rights, a capital crime, and because John Jenkel is the 9/11 bounty hunter who no public officers will provide justice, thereby gives aid and comfort to enemies of the state in violation of California Penal Code Section 37, which is treason, another capital crime. Both capital crimes carry death penalties. G. Former California Attorney General Edmund G. Brown Jr. has known the truth about 9/11 and mass murder in unconstitutional, undeclared wars of congressional choice, never necessity, since 2008. We have thoroughly informed his office, but evidence in Exhibit 5. He hindered John Jenkel's right to hold the United States Senator Hillary, Mrs. Tal Van Clinton, and Communist China doll Dianne Frankenstein's accountable.
John Jenkel, followed by Arlie Haig. Cactus Pete. Cactus Pete. John, are you prepared to provide comment on matters not listed on the agenda?
He will honor.
Cactus Pete.
Come on. Just like to reverse order today. Do you mind accommodating us?
Please.
Okay, so, is your video camera on?
No.
Well, I'd really like you to, because I want to do everything that I can to help you uphold your oath to support and defend the
Thank
Constitution.
you, Colleen. Please direct your comments to the board.
Well, I know that you got away with lying to law enforcement, and now you're chairman of the board, and you swore an oath, and I want to make sure it's documented every time I come up here compelling you to uphold that oath, every part of it, and you failed to do so, particularly when it comes to John Jenkel, because he is a senior citizen. It won't be long until I get my ARP card. So you are liable for damages for giving a writ of sale without a legal right of possession in his property. You help engineer that from the get-go for your benefactors. So I want him to record every time I come here asking you to do something about it outside of court. Just put it on the agenda so we can have more than 3 minutes to talk about it. All of you are liable now that you've been hearing this. So let me get on with it. There was the unlawful seizure of my daughter Charlotte Molinari that resulted in her death that you could have prevented. There's the unlawful seizure of the war powers, now called Public Law 107-243, that is actually martial law at home and abroad. So I want to read this evidence, this testimony, into not only your record, but his record. Because I want to help him support and defend the Constitution, and I want to guarantee that he's got a salary to do that, because it's not being eroded, because we are doing worse than war crimes. Undeclared, unconstitutional wars of choice on a credit card with $17 billion of debt. That's not working out so well here. Okay? So I'm going to enroll every single deputy I can, because I don't want them throwing me into the door going over 3 minutes. Because you think it's okay to use martial law right here at your convenience. I'm sick of it. What were you thinking about on Mother's Day? The empty chair where my daughter would be sitting? So don't rile me up. I just want to read this work. So Willie Brown, the former mayor of San Francisco, and no relation to California Governor Edmund G. Brown, except in the corrupt and treasonous field of protecting organized crime here in the state, in the country, and abroad, as Willie, not Jerry, determines to be necessary under Section 3 of Constitute aborting a police state installing. I don't want a police state installing. I want him to be my friend. Strike first martial law 107-243. The mayor got a full 8 hours warning about air travel.
Thank you, Ms.
He
Fernald.
didn't make this up. It came from the Material
Jenkel.
Chronicle. So book some time.
John
put it on the
Jenkel. John,
agenda,
your
solve
time's
the
going to start.
problem.
You
Don't
start
try to
John's
work
time.
around it. You're liable. Treble damages.
You know, it's really something.
Followed by Arlie Haig and Cactus
You
Steve.
limit our time, sir, but you've had your people come up here and talk about health care for senior citizens who are your employees, and you let them rant on for hours and hours. We have to wait, and now if we don't make this within 30 minutes, we have to wait a year all through. You are totally unfair, sir. This document holds you and a bunch of people accountable for screwing me, and I don't go away. And I am going to hold you accountable, and if you don't return my farm, sir, which the state conspired with a bunch of dirtbags to deprive me of $440,000 so you and your colleagues could allow the county to seize, unreasonably seize without a court order, without a writ of possession, without an order of sale, my horse farm 3 times. Sir. 3 times. And each of those times, you, because I am another bounty hunter, gave aid and comfort to enemies of this state who happen to be the buyers of the property. And that renders you right for a death sentence, sir. Okay, we understand each other. Thank you. I don't want to do that. I don't want to prosecute you, and I will do it. I want my farm back. And I'm going to present you now, finally finished with this document that lays out why you should give me the property back. And I've given it to you before, 3 separate resolutions to quitclaim our properties back to me. You'll have all that by the end of this week. It's been a long time project, long time coming on, and I want my farm back. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Arlie Haig. And final speaker card on matters not on the agenda, Cactus Steve.